Hello and welcome. Today we are in the Tier 10 American battleship, the Ohio. Gozaimasu. Anyways, we're playing a 9 versus 9 on the map North. As you just saw, there were super ships on both teams. In fact, I played some matches and pretty much all of them had super ships. When I played Tier 9, we had super ships on both teams. When I played Tier 10, we had super ships on both teams. And when I played super ships, surprisingly, there were super ships on both teams. Can you believe that? Crazy world we live in. But a 9 versus 9 means that this is not a full match. We have 2 battleships, but they have 3. They have the HP advantage, because a Kronstadt does not make up for a Georgia. Because of that, we have to play more passively. We have to kind of bait the enemy into attacking into us, unless we get some kind of an advantage. Because I think in a pitched battle, we would end up losing, since they are capable of tanking more damage. We need an advantage. Wait. I just noticed something. A Kronstadt here has 75,100 HP. The Georgia has 74,100 HP. A Kronstadt quite literally does make up the HP difference. Well then, I stand corrected. We apparently do have 3 battleships. One of them is just classified as a cruiser for some reason. Also, we actually do have a Stalingrad on the other side, so things aren't looking quite as grim. But we do definitely have to play more passively. I mean, you always want to play passively if you can, because the enemies having to attack into you gives you quite a lot of potential advantage. Like this Des Moines, for example. She was being aggressive, got caught out, and now she's basically target practice because, well, Des Moines can't really do all that much purely in open water. And that's first blood. Well, this is the kind of advantage I was talking about, so now I'm gonna start sailing towards them and try to press them a little bit. I'm not going to go ham though, because they do still have an Annapolis, and as I understand it, if I remember correctly, that is basically a better Des Moines, with lots and lots of firepower. So I still wish to be careful, especially when I get shot by HE from an angle like that. By a ship I cannot see. That definitely wasn't a Preußen, so it'll have to be the one ship we haven't seen on the enemy team. The Slava is also pushing, which I actually think is a mistake. An Ohio pushing is fine because Ohio is really tanky, but Slava is a lot squishier. And Slava also excels at being a long-range sniper, right? Going in like this is probably a mistake, but he is being a little careful. He's at least waiting for his own Annapolis to come with him. Right now I'm gonna continue going forward, but I'm not going to go too far. I don't wish to get into a straight up fight with a Preußen. I think I would lose the fight. Perhaps I could win against the Preußen, but the Annapolis would definitely help out the Preußen, and that would screw me over. Although, if we could take out this Annapolis, it is an idea to... Nah, even then I still couldn't push, because I would end up being flanked by the Georgia if I go and fight the Preußen, or the other way around otherwise. Oh, and the cruiser that we didn't see earlier was the Johann David, which my secondaries could actually fire upon. But right now is a good, I think, point to start turning back. And the Slava is doing the same, which is good. I don't want to fight the Preußen in a secondary battle. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna lose that one. And I mean, even main guns, with the help of Johann David, Annapolis, and potentially Georgia, this might not go very well in my favor. Kronstadt might have a lot of HP, but she's not as tanky as a battleship, and her guns aren't quite as accurate. So I'm just gonna turn back. I'm gonna wait a little bit here. Maybe we can see Johann David again and take a few shots at her. This might be quite devastating for her. Possibly, at least that's what I am hoping for. Might also not happen. I am a little too close to the Preußen, I think. If she's full secondaries, I think they could engage me here. so it might be a good idea to go a little further away. The secondary range of a Preußen, I believe, is the same as Grossokofest, which should be 12.5 kilometers. But her secondaries didn't fire. Maybe she is not a secondary build. In that case, I guess it doesn't matter as much. But I definitely wish to stay in a defensive posture, because I think committing here is going to be a very foolish move. Because if I had gone in, I mean, I wouldn't have had proper backup because my cruisers were all behind, and also I would be running into 4 ships. And I'm quite afraid of that Annapolis. I think if she unleashes her firepower properly, that's going to be very devastating. Especially if she has the island potential usage there, where she could just fire freely. So staying away from that is a good idea. Having the Annapolis to come to us or have to fight in open water is what would be preferable, I think. So on the eastern flank, the enemy has finally broken through, but I think they've done quite well. We've lost the Stalingrad and the... well, here we've lost the Kronstadt. But both destroyers have been taken out, so we don't have to worry about sudden torpedoes incoming. Right now I think the focus should be the Napoli. Maybe I could take a shot or two on the Johann de Witt, but Napoli is pushing into us, and I think she is going to be a prime target to pick off. Because, you know, she's getting fired from all sides. I mean, she's showing broadside to Annapolis. Wow. She just disappeared. Excellent. Now we get to take a shot on the Johann de Witt. Maybe we'll get... she disappeared. Never mind. Both sides have lost 3 ships. We're even in points. I guess it depends on which side blinks first. I think we should still stand back and wait for them to push into us, because right now there's no, like, clear advantage. I think our Slava should pull back basically to the map border, because she can obviously fire from really far away and still be very threatening. But I think we should be on the defensive. And I think the Slava is doing exactly that. We just need to take potshots at these cruisers to pick them off slowly. Because I think their battleships aren't going to be quite as good at... I wanted to say that they won't be quite as good in a straight up fight, but considering there's 3 of them and Slava is already low HP, I think they can just overpower us. They might just push. And we have to take this defensive stance as hard as we can. Oh, shot on Johann de Witt. This might change things. Come on. I believe. Well, we are 1 ship down compared to the enemy now. 8k? Well, it's something. Slava is trading fire with the Georgia. I don't have a good shot on the Georgia. So it's very important that the Slava stays alive so that we can have 2 angles to threaten enemy ships from, so that they can't just point their nose at wherever the battleships are and then just be completely safe. Okay, who do I focus on? I'm gonna just start slowly reversing towards them, because it's pretty clear the enemy is pushing. Preußen and Georgia are both pushing towards us. I'm guessing that the Annapolis is behind the Georgia, and Johann de Witt might actually come with the Preußen too. Well, she's definitely engaging. Very good. The Sejong took out the Cristoforo Colombo. Now it's a... well, I guess it's an even match, right? 2 battleships, 3 cruisers, both sides. Although we do hold a points advantage because the enemy had an extra battleship compared to us. And sinking battleships or heavier ships gives you a little more points. So they do actually have to push into us. But I think HP wise they're a little better off. That Preußen has as much HP as I do, and Georgia has almost double what Slava has. But I still believe... ooh, 10k. Preußen is a difficult ship to fight as well because her armor is pretty good. She can even show broadside, and while she might take large hits, she doesn't have to worry about essentially being citadeled off the map, unlike most other ships in this match. Okay, Georgia has definitely committed. The Preußen has second thoughts and is turning around, but the Georgia is definitely committing. She is already in the little gap between the 2 islands. Okay, actually it's a pretty big gap. But she's still there, and turning around there means that she will open up her side to me and this, potentially the Slava. Oh! The Preußen has run aground, but unfortunately it is at an angle that I can't really punish her at from. I'm gonna start reversing towards the Georgia. Hopefully she keeps pushing a little forward, and then my secondaries will cover any of her paths. Unfortunately, the Annapolis finished off the Slava. That's a big loss, because now there's no crossfire potential from battleships anymore on our team. I really do think the Slava should have backed off further. She does have the range to engage from further away. But I mean, it's only a one ship difference. Okay, only. It's actually a pretty big difference, considering they have both Preußen and the Georgia. And they are definitely closing in. Okay, secondaries are almost in range of the Georgia. Still gonna keep firing at the Preußen, because she will probably show me some side. And that is potentially punishable. Although, if the Georgia decides to show me side as well, my rear turrets will have to switch targets. Maybe she already is. Yeah, she's turning. Ooh. Hello, Georgia. I would like to order some citadels, please. Thank you. Okay, 7.5k. I do have to go further away. The Annapolis can use the island to safely engage me. And I am already within secondary range of the Georgia. And I think she's actually making a pretty big mistake here. Because if Georgia tries to turn around there, she basically can't fire for a long time while I get to fire on her all the while. That is advantageous to us. Wait, she's not actually doing a full turnaround. Is she just ramming the island just like the Preußen or something? What is this? Okay, now she's turning the other way. So she is giving me a shot again. Let's see how this... Oh, that's actually smart. She's using her concealment. So while I did get a shot, it was only one. That's pretty smart. Anyway, we're backing off, because it's a 3 against 5 now. I'm guessing that Dmitry Donskoy is also flanking us. The walls are closing in. But there is still a chance. It is an Annapolis fighting in open water against an Ohio. There is definitely a chance I might just get a lucky shot that ends the cruiser, and then I could push my advantage against the Georgia. The tricky part is that I have to make sure I don't show side to the Preußen or the Georgia, and there's a good chance the Georgia might try to flank me. So, angling becomes quite difficult. Luckily, the engagements are still at a decent range, so I'm not forced to focus in on either side. The Preußen still taking its sweet time to turn around, and that's extremely good for us right now. I mean, we only have 3 ships. Although I don't like what I'm seeing in the middle. Looking at the map, Johan de Witt is moving towards our cap zone. And I'm afraid she might be able to use her concealment to start blocking it. All she has to do is block it for a while. Even if we go even in ships then, they will have an advantage. We also still haven't seen... Oh, there's the Donskoy. Okay. I wonder... Is the Donskoy maybe gonna threaten the cruisers? Okay, there she is. I think maybe focusing on the Donskoy would be good. It would clear up the flanks, or, well, right now actually the Annapolis, of course. With her side showing. Oh, double fire and no damage control party. This is gonna hurt. I have to pull back as far as I can for a while, because I need to minimize the damage. I still have 2 more heals, so I can definitely tank through the fire damage. I just need time. I need to make sure that the bigger ships don't finish me off. Okay, the Annapolis is afraid for now. That is good. Next up, I guess, we're gonna focus on the Donskoy, because she's the one I'm gonna have to open broadside to. Because this is basically my only angling option. I have to angle against the Georgia and the Preußen. So, broadside is open to the Donskoy. Come on! Ooh, nice! And our special captain gave us main battery reload time. Definitely have to damage control party that fire immediately. We need as Little HP loss as possible, since we need time to get off the second heal too. Don't think these planes could reach me, so they're not on me. Ooh, Preußen took a torpedo. Maybe we can finish something off there. 22k HP. I'm gonna switch to HE, because I'm afraid that I might just bounce with AP. Actually, 8,000 damage. That's more than expected. Also, I suspect Preußen might have been flooded, so HE might set a fire that finishes her off. Oh, I took some more damage. 5k HP. 12 seconds in heal. I have to make sure I avoid these shells that will come from the Preußen. Okay, the shells are coming. We just keep moving. Come on. And we're alive. Okay, next shells. We're still alive. And Georgia shells too, and we're still alive at 10k HP, and we're ticking up. We've got our last heal going. Excellent news. The Johann de Witt is still in the cap, which is a bit of a problem, but actually it's a pretty big problem because they are in the points lead. Before, if Johann de Witt hadn't entered the cap, we would have actually been in a slight points lead. But now it's the other way around. We need to dislodge her from the cap, or actually, well, more than that, we need a kill. I don't think anything else will suffice. I do have comparable HP to that Georgia, so I'm gonna point my nose towards her and just start shelling, I guess, whatever I can. We have 1 minute 20 seconds. Oh, Annapolis opened fire. I'm gonna take a shot there, especially when she's broadside like that. I am relatively safe now. I have a lot of HP, my bow is pointed towards the Georgia, and I'm closing in the distance. The Georgia is probably gonna turn to run. Okay, torpedo protection hit. That was unfortunate. Let's see if the rear turrets are better. I'm just gonna take a blind shot, I think. I mean, right now, it's just, I have to take the risk, I think. Wait, Annapolis still fired again? While running aground? Really? That's a foolish move. I don't have any heals, but Annapolis has run aground. This should be a very good shot. But of course, RNG might decide otherwise. She is quite far away. Ooh, nice. Wow, I can't believe 6 out of 8 shells landed there. Damn. And this is probably the last shells I fire. But it's looking very good. But it's not over until now. Very nice. I can't believe we won this. I genuinely cannot believe we won this. At the beginning it seemed pretty decent, but then it became quite bleak in the middle, especially once we lost the Slava. And they still had 3 battleships. Or at least 2. But 224k damage, sank 3 ships in 9 versus 9. 2463 base XP. I'm gonna have to compliment all of these guys. I definitely have to compliment the Georgia. I mean, Georgia never went down. She played extremely well in this match. Same goes for Johann de Witt. Those guys definitely deserve props. And the Stalingrad, because we didn't really see it, but the Stalingrad early on in the match fought on the eastern flank and basically was instrumental in taking out the destroyer. And, well, just blocking them from that side. 3.2 million potential damage. I tanked a lot of shells. I mean, 23 shell hits from Georgia. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons and patron. Thank you very much for your very patient support. And I hope I'll see you guys next time.